Okay, let's unpack this. We are jumping straight into a deep dive today on an organization with a really highly structured, almost proprietary way of doing things. Selecting people, developing them, leadership.
Yeah, we're talking about Victory with Ash, or VWA, and we've got access to some internal documents, their onboarding and leadership philosophy. It's quite something.
It really is. It's not just, a standard HR manual.
Yeah.
This gives us a pretty unique look inside a system that's, well, it's explicitly built around personal transformation first.
Exactly. The structure comes second.
Right.
And it's all driven by the founder, Ash Mufareh's vision. It's fascinating, actually, how detailed the steps are. They're aiming to create a very specific kind of aligned leader.
Right. So our mission today really is to cut through some of maybe the hype or the noise and pull out the essential bits, like the scarcity they build into getting in, the really intense character shaping that happens during mentorship, and then finally the philosophy behind what kind of leader VWA actually wants to produce.
And, if you're listening, the key thing to grasp is this. VWA's approach, it seems like a calculated mix, right? Strict rules, procedures, but also this really intense personal development.
Yeah.
They don't just want people following orders. They seem to want people who are genuinely changed internally. We should probably look at the strategy behind that exclusivity.
Okay, let's start right at the beginning.
Yeah.
The front door, you could say. The exclusive entrance. So according to their internal updates, there was an announcement from Chris Johnson
Right.
saying the October phase of VWA is now officially LAV. An initial group's been selected, and now they're bringing in a next wave gradually.
Which immediately makes you ask, okay, how do you even get selected for that wave?
Exactly. How do you get in?
Well, what's really crucial here is step one, invitation. And the source material couldn't be clearer. This is not a public sign-up.
No.
It's a private, invitation-based selection that straight away creates this high-value, high-scarcity feel, doesn't it?
Totally. It feels like an intentional filter designed to make you feel, I suppose, privileged just to be asked.
And the link, the invitation itself, has to come from someone who's already a leader within VWA.
Right.
And the selection, they say, is intensely personalized. The criteria they list are explicitly about the potential member's mindset, dedication, and intentions.
So it's not about your past experience or your resume, it sounds like.
Yeah.
It's about your perceived commitment to their way of thinking, their philosophy going forward.
Yeah, and think about the psychology of that for a second. If I choose you based on your intentions, I'm kind of setting up this unwritten contract, this accountability, before you've even done anything.
Interesting point.
And that leads right into step two, verification. This is the screening part. They check the details, but more importantly, they check your declared purpose.
To make sure only serious individuals get through, is what the document says. How does that verification actually work? Is it like a background check, or is it more about checking your attitude, a vibe check almost?
Well, based on how much they emphasize mindset and purpose in the documents, it really seems like a behavioral and alignment check.
Clear.
Are you saying the right things? Does your stated intention match up? It feels like they're making sure you're not just, curious, that you're genuinely committed. It's like gatekeeping the culture.
Right, protecting the seriousness of it all. That makes sense. So once they've verified your intent, you get to step 3, onboarding confirmation. And then step 4 is getting access to the platform, the training materials, the communication channels, the tools. And that's the moment you're officially plugged into Ash Mufareh's vision.
And that whole controlled entry, it's locked down by a very specific requirement. We saw a sample invitation message, right, marked personal and confidential.
Yeah.
And it demands a specific reply to lock you in. I'm ready and fully committed to follow the onboarding steps.
Wow.
They don't want any hesitation. It's full commitment to the process right from the word go.
That definitely sets a serious tone for everything that comes next. Okay, so you're invited, you're verified, you stated your commitment. Now, the focus shifts, doesn't it, from just being selected to actually being transformed?
Exactly.
Which brings us to segment 2, character building, the mentorship stage. The documents describe this part right after orientation as the most transformative and personal development phase. If getting in was tough, this sounds intense.
Yeah, this is where the VWA philosophy stops being like an abstract idea and becomes your day-to-day reality.
Oh, so?
Well, the stated purpose is pretty broad but deep. They want to shape your mindset into a true victor's mindset, prepare you for higher responsibilities, and systematically align your faith, gratitude, and discipline with the founder's vision. They're trying to operationalize virtues, essentially.
Operationalizing virtues.
Okay.
And the structure they use for this, it's surprisingly intimate. That seems key. Participants get connected with a mentor
Right, a leader.
who heads up a small victory circle, usually just, 5 to 10 people? Why keep the group so small?
Intimacy creates high accountability, I think. These weekly private sessions focusing on spiritual, emotional, and practical growth, there's nowhere to hide in a group that small.
Sure.
It creates strong peer support, potentially, but also probably immense pressure to adopt that positive, committed mindset the program demands. It's like personalized, ongoing calibration.
Okay, let's drill down into those 5 pillars of mentorship they talk about. They sound a bit abstract. Faith, discipline, gratitude, communication, service.
Yeah.
How do they actually track something like faith or discipline?
Well, they track them through required actions. Take discipline. That's enforced through specific homework assignments.
I like what?
Things like writing reflections on what victory means to me, and get this, sending daily gratitude reports to your mentor.
I mean, daily gratitude reports. Seriously.
Yeah.
What does that even look like? That sounds like forced journaling, but was someone checking up on you?
That's pretty much it. It forces you into consistent, positive framing. If you have to report daily on what you're thankful for and the progress you're making, well, you're actively retraining your focus, aren't you? Towards ascent, not problems.
No. Okay.
Then the other pillars are communication, which means staying constantly connected with the mentor, and service. And service here means helping newer people understand the VWA values, basically lifting others up.
That service part makes sense, actually. You start practicing the leadership idea, lifting others, even before you're officially called a leader.
Right.
So how do the mentors judge progress? It can't just be ticking boxes for homework.
No, it seems like an internal scorecard focused on character. The docs mention mentors evaluate growth using metrics like mindset maturity, consistency, humility, and contribution to others.
Those sound pretty subjective.
They are behavioral assessments, yeah. Focused on attitude and how you apply the principles, not just ticking off tasks. The whole stage is designed to ensure you come out fully aligned and ready for bigger roles, like becoming an ambassador.
And this is where that founder's quote fits in, isn't it? True victory is when you can lift others while you rise. The personal transformation is directly linked to helping others transform too. It's a closed loop.
Absolutely. And strategically, if you think about it, this mentorship stage is designed to make sure that anyone who graduates to leadership has completely internalized the VWA character traits.
So they're not just ready to lead.
They're ready to replicate the system. They become carriers of the VWA culture.
Okay, that flows perfectly into segment 3. Becoming the guide, the leadership transition. This is where someone who's been through the mentorship becomes a guide or ambassador. And it's built on that principle. Leaders build leaders.
And the leadership ethos for these ambassadors is spelled out very clearly. Lead with vision, serve with humility, inspire with action. It seems like a deliberate attempt to define leadership within VWA as something other than just management or control. It's about guiding with purpose and heart, as they put it.
So what are the final hurdles to become this ambassador? The selection criteria build directly on how you perform during mentorship, right?
Exactly. You have to show unwavering commitment, transformation, service, and communication. Those same metrics carry through.
And once you're selected for this track, what's the training like?
The training modules seem focused on the specific, maybe sensitive skills needed to maintain the VWA culture. It's less about personal growth now, more about managing the system.
Okay, like what?
Things like vision communication, making sure they can share the message from the heart authentically, community building, how to effectively manage those victory circles, and crisis handling, emphasizing calm, compassionate leadership when things get tough.
And that last module, confidential conduct, that sounds particularly important. Maintaining privacy, ethical integrity. Why emphasize that so much at this stage?
Well, think about it. When you become a guide or ambassador, you're essentially a gatekeeper and a cultural guardian.
Right.
You hold a lot of responsibility for the community's cohesion. Confidentiality protects the members still going through mentorship who are maybe vulnerable, but it also protects the structure itself from, say, outside criticism or scrutiny. The ambassador is like the protector of the culture and the organization's boundaries.
Got it. So the ambassador role then boils down to 3 main jobs.
Yeah.
Inspire the next group coming through, guide the new members using those same onboarding steps we talked about earlier.
Yep, perpetuate the process.
And protect the unity and confidentiality, the whole thing.
Which brings up an interesting point about power, doesn't it? If the ambassador is leading, how does VWA stop it becoming too centralized, too top-down? Ashmo Farah's own leadership philosophy seems to address that directly. The quote is, Leadership is not about followers. It's about lighting a fire in others so they can lead themselves.
Okay, so that idea of self-sufficiency is key. The top leaders are meant to empower others to lead, not just manage them. They're facilitators, not controllers.
Precisely. And the payoff, the reward for getting through this whole demanding transition, you become a certified Victory with Ash ambassador.
And that certification gives you the power to do what?
Crucially, it gives you the ability to invite new members, so you become part of that exclusive selection process yourself.
Ah, closing the loop.
Exactly. And you join the top tier, the core leadership circle. It's the highest level of trust and responsibility. It marks the end of the journey from getting that private invitation all the way to becoming a steward of the entire system.
So when you pull back and look at the whole thing, what does this structured journey really boil down to for the listener? It seems VWA has managed to operationalize character development, turn it into a 3-stage self-replicating system.
Yeah, their own summary kind of nails it. In the mentorship stage, you transform yourself. In the leadership transition stage, you transform others.
Simple but powerful framing.
The whole machine, really, from how hard it is to get invited to those daily gratitude reports, it's all about achieving alignment, as Mufari says. Victory is not luck, it's alignment with purpose. This VWA structure is the deliberate way they try to achieve that alignment consistently across everyone involved, and they focus heavily on those internal things like mindset maturity before they grant any real external authority.
It's a pretty remarkable blueprint, isn't it, for how an organization can take things often called soft skills, character, mindset, and build them into a hard, measurable path to influence and power within their own structure.
It really is. The level of commitment required, the internal focus, it's immense. Which I guess brings us to our final thought for you, the listener, to mull over. Based on this VWA focus on building self-sufficient leaders through really rigorous discipline, if, as they say, true victory is about lifting others as you rise, and true leadership is enabling others to lead themselves, what's one daily commitment, one discipline that you might need to adopt starting today to make sure your own climb, your own success is rooted in genuine character transformation, not just, going through the motions?
Something to definitely chew on. We'll leave it there for this deep dive.